everyone, welcome to another live. I hope you're all doing really well. As usual, we're just doing our opening checks to make sure everything is up and running. Oh, we look like we're up. Oh, and we've also got sound. That's fantastic. Yay! Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're having a great Saturday evening. I know that this is not our usual day or time for, well, time maybe, but day definitely not. Just get some lights on here. It's a bit brighter in here. I'm not sure if that's made any difference, but we will see. As I say, we have had a little slight change of day because yesterday I was feeling pretty under the weather. Got a really bad headache. I'm still not feeling the best today, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still feeling pretty tired and a little bit just got a bit of tension in the shoulders and all of that nonsense, which is why I'm not showing you my face today, because you really don't want to see that. But we are going to do a bit of crafting tonight, which I'm hoping is going to make me feel a little bit better, and then hopefully we'll be back to full strength next week, because I have got some news about what's coming up next week, so stick with me for that. Hello to everyone who's perhaps watching on the replay as well, because appreciate Saturday evening. You might have plans, you might be busy doing other things. So I appreciate you watching on the replay as well. I hope you're having a fabulous day. So shall we crack on? I've just got these two little cards here to show you because they were ones we've made in previous weeks, and I just thought it's better than not having anything to look at when we first get started. But my plan today is to use our Dig It, I Really Dig You stamps. Now, where are my actual stamps? I've got the bits that I've already cut out here, but I haven't got my little I Dig You stamps. Here they are. So they're my stamps. I was tempted to use the You Are the Best ones, but I'm thinking the moles. I've got a little bit of an idea of how I want to use these for a really quick and simple card today, as we're not feeling too sparkling, so I'm going to try and keep things simple for myself. It's always a good plan, I feel. Hello Emma, how are you? I hope you're really well. Now I'm thinking colour schemes. I'm thinking, you know, how I want to put this together. I do have my pastel, Pretty Pastels paper pad, which is easy for me to say, and I'm wondering whether I might use some of this. But I'm also thinking of kind of, I guess maybe, yeah, maybe the green would work actually. So I think I'm going to do this landscape, just thinking things through in my head. My plan was to use one of our wide stitched frame dies. So I've not used one of these for a while, and I just thought this is going to make a really nice little frame for our little little moles. And then I'm going to use some of the moles that I've already stamped here. So we've got this little guy. Oh, the little worm. It's going to look really cute. We could go with this guy down here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with this guy in the middle. So we've got these three little cuties here. And then going with the sentiment, Holy Moly, it's your birthday, which I might stamp onto some different coloured cardstock and heat emboss. And then we've got all the other like little bits that go with it. So we've got the little little accessories. We've got a little plant here. We've got a trowel that one of them can be holding. We've got a little fork here, which is going to be very cute. Somebody can be holding that. We've also got a little buzzy bee as well, which is very cute. And also then we've got the little butterfly. So we've got the makings of a really cute little scene here, which I think is pretty cute. And my thoughts are that I make a little background using our some of our stencils, and then maybe doing the frame in some paper, but I could also do my background in paper, which would be quite sweet as well. See, that's quite a pretty, yeah, that would be pretty. Will it fit though? Let's see. Yes, of course it does. Right, so let's do it. Okay, so I've got a bit of a plan. So this is me, this is literally me in action. Hello Emma, did I say hello? I hope you're all right. What are you up to this evening? Are you crafting along? Let us know if you are. So I'm going to cut this out first because this is kind of my starter for 10. If we don't end up not using it on this project, it'll get used on something else for sure. So I'm also going to do with this as well, I'm going to cut it from some foam so that I can give it a little bit of elevation. I think that might be a nice way of giving it some stability as well, because while this is 170 GSM, which is a really good weight of paper, it's not cardstock weight. So let's pop this through the noisy machine. So this is my Gemini, the large Gemini. So I'll just pop that through there. I've got a little friend sat next to me as well. Little Maisie sat here keeping me company, which is very cute. Her brother has been a little bit less helpful today, I would say. He's been he's been interfering a little bit. So you can see I've not quite managed to die cut that corner there. So I am going to pop this back on just because I want to make sure that that stitching detail's in there. I could just trim it off, but and I am just going to pull off any excess there. But I don't think that, yeah, it's just because of the position that it's been on the die cutting machine. There are areas in the machine that don't have quite as much pressure. Now it's been used quite a few times. So just put that back through. So that's cut out beautifully now, and that's going to make such a lovely border. So, but like I said, I want to cut this as well from some fun foam so that it's got a little bit of stability. So let me grab a piece of this fun foam, and this is just, you know, super cheap kids fun foam. It's not quite big enough, that piece. Grab another piece. And you can get these from your local craft shop, hobby craft, and places like that will sell this really cheaply. You could probably even get it, I bet you could get it online, couldn't you? If you look out for it. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle there. And any bits that you don't use, of course, you're going to be able to use for smaller die cuts. So I'm going to snip size of my die, because then it's going to allow me to position it that little bit better in my die cutting machine. And put that through again. Oh, it's moved a little bit in the machine, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it's just, can you see how it's just moved ever so slightly? But it doesn't matter, because we're only using it as a bit of support. So that's my centerpiece. I'll save that for later. And then I'm going to use that just to go underneath there. That'll give it a little bit of elevation, but it will also give it, it will keep it that little bit sturdier and a bit stronger. So I'm going to keep my my scraps of my paper to one side, and I like to keep those in one of our A5 size storage pockets, because then I can keep all of my scraps together with my original paper pad, and then I know I'm not going to lose any of them, because you know we all like to keep hold of all of our scraps for a later date. So I'm going to, I won't stick them on just yet, because I'm going to concentrate on my background, I think, for the moment. Now, for my background, I did have the idea of doing a little bit of a muddy ground using our Dig It stencil, but I don't want to cover the whole floor, you know, the whole of the background. I would like there to be like a ground area and then a sky area. So what I think I will do is, this is my stencil here, so this is the Dig It stencil, but I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut out like a little hill. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take one of our slimline hillside seam dies here, and these have got some nice dies that will just create a nice little bit of a curve that's going to make like a little hill. So then when we pop our little guys on top, they're sitting on some ground. Does that make sense? So I need a little bit of white cardstock that we can cut down here. What have we got in here? Have we got any scraps that might be big enough? Well, that looks perfect. Always keep your scraps, because you're bound to find somewhere one that is going to work perfectly for you. So I'm going to make it just probably a little bit bigger than I actually need it, because I can always cut that down. It's better to have a little bit too much than not enough. This one, I think I might be able to get this through my little die cutting machine, which is not quite as noisy. Oh, I do beg your pardon. I had to have a little sneeze there. Bless me. So, what's everyone up to this evening? Are we crafting? Are we just watching? Come on, then. Why won't we go through? There we go. So, yeah, what's everyone up to this evening? And what have you been up to this week? Have you had a fun week? I've had a really busy week this week, hence the reason for why I think I'm feeling a little bit pooped, and that's what's caused the brain to just want to give up and go to sleep. We are busy preparing for a new release, so this is the big news that you know, just to let you guys know, for next week's live. Next week's live will be a full reveal of the next release. So the next release will go live a week today. So that's Saturday is it the 28th, 29th, 28th? What day are we on, Rose? What, Rosie? I nearly called you Rosie then. Oh, bless you. Maisie. Let's have a look. So it's the 29th, so that will go live on the 29th. And yeah, it's cute. You're going to love it. You're really going to love it. I can't wait to show it to you all. We're just, because it's a smaller release, we are only going to have the one live show, because I know normally we do like a little bit of a run up with a few lives, spreading it over a few days. But because it is, like I say, it's a bit smaller in terms of release size, we're going to do it all in one day for you, which I think is going to be really cool. And like I say, I can't wait to share it with you. Might go with doing it right at the bottom like that. Yeah. And then I can just secure it with a little bit of tape along the bottom, just so that it kind of stays put a little bit, but it probably will move around a little. So we'll just hang on to that. So I'll just move this up as well so that you can see. What colour shall we go for? Let's go for tea dye maybe, or a bit of gathered twig. Let's have a look at these and see which ones we like. Gathered twigs is quite a good colour. So if I'm not sure about the colours that I'm going to use, I've got just a little bit of scrap paper here. Let's have a look with, I use my brown brush. So tea dye is quite a nice warm shade, and then gathered twigs is a bit deeper. So I do think those two go really quite well together. And then walnut stain. Let's have a look at walnut stain. Oh, that is quite the muddy, deep muddy colour, isn't it? So I'm thinking that maybe these three colours could work for us. So we've got gathered twigs, walnut stain and tea dye. So I'm only going to use little bits of each, just to try and keep it a little bit light. I don't want it to be too dark, because we've got quite a pastel-y colour scheme going on. I want to keep that nice light pastel effect. So that's a little bit of tea dye. And then let's just go over the top of this then with a little bit of gathered twig, just in some of the corners. You can just make it a little bit darker. Make sure that we've got, you know, some colour over all of that surface, so that it does look like ground. And then the walnut stain, let's just add this a little bit deeper, maybe around the bottom here a bit more. So I'm just going in quite light with my pressure, so that we don't go too dark, but I do want a little bit of depth. So yeah, that's lovely. And I love to, I mean, you know how much I love my brushes. And this just really helps with something like this, because I can really vary that amount of pressure, but there is just a really lovely smooth finish everywhere, which looks amazing. So shall we do a little bit of a reveal? Emma says, I'm okay, I'm having a quiet weekend after last weekend's agility competition. I'm still knackered from all the running around. How did you get on? Oh, fantastic. I bet you are. Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, how did you get on? So I'm just using some of the walnut stain again, just to go over take this little bit of tape off as well, off the bottom of there. And then I'm going to cover up some of the whiteness with my walnut stain here, because I think this is giving me a nice muddy finish then. What you could do as well, alternatively, I can't get those words out, is maybe do a pale background before you add your stencil work over the top. So you've already got a bit of colour laid down before you go over the top of it. So that could work really nicely as well with a paler brown colour. Because again, you know, the whiteness, the white borders are great for giving a bit of definition, but also if they're really white, then it can look a little bit more like like paving rather than mud. So I want this to look a little bit more like a cracked surface, so that's why it's nice just to fill in a little bit of that whiteness, the little bit of the white gaps. So next little bit to do here then, before we get rid of our inks, is I'm going to just add a little bit of the walnut stain onto the back of an acrylic block. And then I have some water here, and I have a paintbrush, and add some water to my paintbrush and onto that ink. And then let's just move everything out of the way that we don't want to get covered in splatters of ink. And then I'm just going to do some splatters onto here. Lovely. Oh, they're lovely. And then for finer splatters, just doing that off the edge of the block. We'll just make those a little bit finer. So we've got some big splatters and we've got some little splatters there, which I think looks really cool. So just wipe off our brush. Oh, my water's filthy, so we might have to give that a clean afterwards. Put that to one side so I don't make a mess of it. Do I have a bit of kitchen roll here to just wipe off my acrylic block there, and then just grab my little chamois here. Pop this to one side just to dry, and then just give this a little clean with my chamois. Emma says it was our first time competing. We did get eliminated in all our runs. Pip did so well though. I was super proud of her. I need to get fitter to keep up with her because she's so fast. Oh, that's so cute. Well done for doing it though. And the fact that you've got your first one done, I think that will be a huge, just, I don't know, it's like when you do your first driving test. Well, certainly for me. Once I've done the first one and I failed, the second one was much easier because I knew what to expect. So you've kind of got your first one under the belt. The ones after that will be so much easier, I expect. So yeah, well done you, and well done to little Pip. Oh, I've put that away and I've not cleaned my stencil because I was concentrating on Pip. That's very, very sweet. So you're getting some rest this weekend then. Nice quiet weekend. Just relaxing after all of that energy and hard work. And I hope Pip is resting as well. Aunt's actually at work this evening. So I probably will have... Well, to be honest with you, I tend to continue working later when Aunt's not here. I get more of a restful time when he is here because he makes me stop doing stuff. Because because I'm a bit bad for that. I think, oh well, while he's not here, I'll get some work done, because then it means we can spend time together when he is here. But then I'm too tired to do anything because I've been up all night messing about. So yeah, so I am a bit bad for that. So let's do our background. So for the background, I think I'm going to do some clouds with one of our stencils. So let's grab, let's have a look in my little book of stencils. I've got the Making Waves stencil. The Sunrise Scene Builder. This is the one I want. Love this stencil, by the way. This one is a really good one for making scenes. So, in fact, this isn't the Sunrise Scene Builder, actually. This has got the wrong name on it. It's actually I Build a Scene. So, I'm going to grab some tumbled glass here. I need to change that out because I'm going to confuse myself if I don't, aren't I? So, let's, I'm just going to start with a little bit of blue along the bottom. And then bring in my little clouds and just go around those. Flip this stencil over, add a few more, and then we'll flip it over again, and can add a few more. Lovely. Really nice. What should we do? We'll just do a little bit there as well. So you can just totally build up those lovely little little bits of cloud as you want to. So I'll just bring that a bit closer that you can see, because the tumbled glass is quite a pale blue, but hopefully you can see there just how pretty that is. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a similar sort of thing. Just spin that around. I'm going to use the side of my stencil here to help me with this. And because my water's a bit blue, I'm just going to spray some water onto this. And then I think I'll grab my fan brush. This might not be a dark enough blue now, but I might not have got enough ink on there. There's some little splatters coming off, but we might need a bit more. So let's go with, oh, I just flicked that, flicked it across the room. Let's get a bit more on here. Yeah, that's it, a bit more. Oh, not enough water. Let's try it again. A bit more water on there. Might need to go for a darker blue, perhaps. Let's get that water. That's it. Now we're talking. So we're going for a bit more of a finer spray because it's the sky, and I don't want it to stand out too much, but let's just do some flicks on there. Perfect. So you may not see them very much from a distance, so I'll just bring it a little bit closer, and maybe you can just about see those splatters on there. So again, we're going to let that dry. This is almost dry, so we might speed that along with the heat tool, because I am going to do a bit of heat embossing now, I think. So my plan with the heat embossing is, I've had a little bit of an idea actually. So let's have a clean up first of all. Let's keep everything nice and clean. Give that a bit of a clean as well. one side because I need to pop them away, don't I? Right, so my idea is to, let me grab some of my cardstock here. Yes, so my thoughts are to use maybe some brown cardstock rather than black to heat emboss my sentiment. So just to give me a little bit of an idea of what's going on colour scheme wise, this is kind of where we're going with our scheme. So I could either go with kind of this colour brown or a very, very dark brown like this. And I think I like this. So I think the white will really stand out against that. So let's go with this. I think this might be big enough also. So let's find my sentiment. My sentiment is, holy moly, it's your birthday. So, yeah, that fits beautifully on here. Let's pop this onto a block. 1 and 2. Yep, they fit on lovely. And then I'm going to take my anti-static, give that a good pouncing with anti-static. I have a little bit of scrap paper here ready to catch my my white embossing powder, and then I need my embossing ink. So this is my embossing ink, and we'll cover our sentiment with the ink, pop that onto our cardstock, and I've purposefully left enough space around my sentiments excuse me, so that I can die cut them with the coordinating dies. So we'll pop this onto here and then tip our white over the top, give that a light tap. This is quite handy that I have this little piece on here. It's almost like a little holder. That wasn't intentional, but I like it. So let's pop that in there. So who is excited for a new release, and what do you think is going to be in it? What do you think the new release is going to look like? I like I say, I'm really excited. There's some very different like little scene builders, some stamps that are going to be great for occasions. Oh, I think you're going to love them. I really do. And one of them is like a retake on an old favourite, shall we say. So sorry about this, Maisie, if this disturbs the sleep. But oh, did that wake you up, little one? Hello. Sorry about that, little button. Right, okay. Let's see if my little holder works. My little holder worked perfectly well to keep my little fingers safe from the heat. So, but I am going to trim off my little holder now because we don't need that. So pop that to one side, and then I need my little chamois again just to clean up my stamps, and then I can put those away. Sorry to disturb, little one. You can go back to sleep now. The noisiness is over. So I'll put these back, and then we'll get our dies together. Has that upset you so much that you're going to leave me now? Or are you going to come and stand on my desk? Oh, that's a big old yawn, that, isn't it? Somebody's sleepy. Right, holy moly, which one's this one going to be? I think that one is probably for that one. And it's your birthday. Is that one, that one? Yeah. Lovely. So before we pop those dies on, I am just going to buff up that cardstock to get rid of all of that anti-static powder and just make it look a little bit cleaner. So that's the 2 sentiments, all nicely stamped and heat embossed. And you can see that the use of that anti-static powder really did work, didn't it? So let's put that on there. Yes, the heat tool did disturb her sleep, so she's gone in disgust. How dare I disturb her sleep? So pop that on there. I do love it when they come and, you know, sit with me in my office / craft room, keep me company. They do, and I talk to them, really do, which is quite a sign of being a bit daft, isn't it? But we have little one-way conversations. So it's your birthday. Yeah, I like this on the brown. I think that looks really cute. So it's just a nice alternative to just using black all the time, because I think that tends to be my go-to a little bit when I'm doing heat embossing. But for something like this, it really works with the theme, doesn't it? So let's get all of my my little images here, because I don't know which ones I might use just yet. I know we don't need this sentiment, so we can pop those back. So let's have a see what we're going to do here. Do I need to trim down my background a little? Let's have a look. Let's see if we put our little guys here, and then the sentiment, holy moly, it's your birthday. I think that could actually work, couldn't it? What do we think? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I think that's going to work quite well. I think we'll just pop this straight on with some glue. I don't think I need to trim it down at all. So I'm going to use some of my Cosmic Shimmer glue to stick this to my card. And I didn't mention, or I don't know if you noticed, but I did just do my background clouds straight onto my card base, which is something that I do really like to do, because it just reduces the amount of layers, so it doesn't get too bulky then. And the cardstock that I use, it's the Time for Tea card blanks, A6 size. I think we still have a few of them in the shop. They are a fabulous card base for ink blending directly onto. They're even very good for stamping and colouring with your Copic markers. They're a great weight, and you know, they've got a good finish to them, a nice smooth finish. So I do love them for that. So just pop that into place. Making sure that it's all stuck down all the way around. I do notice sometimes that when you put foam through the die cutting machine that is as powerful as the Gemini, it can sometimes squash the foam out a little bit. So if that's the case, all I'm just going to do is just trim any excess off that's just squidged a bit out the outside. It's just because the pressure of the machine is so strong, which is what you want, because you want it to be able to effectively cut out your die, especially when they're very intricate dies. You need that power so that they will cut through your material that you're using, whether that be a cardstock or might even be something a bit thicker, maybe through felt or so. So yeah, you do need the power, but sometimes it can just be a little bit too much for the fun foam. So we're gonna, again, I've used glue on there to attach that. I'll just give it a second to really fix, make sure that we've got it on straight as well. Oh, I do love that now. I'm really happy with that, because I wasn't sure about doing the border, but I love that border now. I think that looks really nice. I'm going to grab my foam tape here as well. She says if she can get it off the wall. There we go. So this is my super giant wide foam tape. I also have my narrower shaker style tape, so that we can get some of these guys stuck on here. So I think we were going to have these facing each other, and then, but I want them to hold on to some of their little tools here. So I think we'll have, this guy can be holding on to a trowel like so. This guy could have the fork, or this guy could have the fork here. Maybe the fork is laid by his feet. That might be quite cute, because we could have a little flower at the bottom there, maybe, or at the side there. We've got the little worm. I was thinking the little worm could sit there, couldn't he? Which would be quite cute. And then we've got a little butterfly and the little bee. That might have been cute. And then we've got this little little tray of flowers, which that could look quite sweet sat at the front, couldn't it? I quite like that. Might go for that. We need to make sure he's right in the middle. There. And then we've got the sentiment at the top. So we're just throwing everything at this one, and I love that. Okay, so move this out of the way. I'm going to have the little trowel, attach that to his feet, the bottom there, just laid by the side of him. So he's done his bit of gardening. So we're going to trim some of this foam tape. Let's trim a couple of bits off here. One for this guy. Make sure that we get him fully lined up in the middle where we can see him. And then this guy, just need a little bit for his trowel just to keep that popped up. Sorry, I'm conscious that I'm sticking all my sticky bits on out off camera, aren't I? So that one goes. It can go just there, and then we'll just use a little bit of this for his fork, and then little moles have been just so popular, and I do think they're so cute. And this is actually the first card that I've made with them, which is very sweet. I've been dying to make a card with them. Oh, come here, little bee. Buzzing away from me. There we go. Pop the little bee just there. And then our little butterfly. Just got enough there for the little butterfly. Just trim that little edge off there. This is, you know, my favourite bit of when it all comes together. Your vision all comes together. I think it's really cool. I love sticking on, getting everything prepped and then sticking all the bits together. It's just so satisfying. I also love because like I said, I've been prepping for the new release, and I love colouring all of my images in, and then I just love the process of colouring them first of all. But then when you get to die cut them and see them all, you know, completed, I think that just looks so good. I think there's just something really satisfying about, you know, the final result coming together. Seeing all those little coloured images. It's very cute. And I can't recommend highly enough the idea of colouring your images in advance and then making a card, a little bit like I've done tonight, because I just think it takes the stress out of the process. Should I do this one this side? No, I feel like he needs to be looking inward. So yeah, I think it just takes some of the stress out of the process because you've already done the majority of the work with your colouring in. It means then you get to just play at putting it together, maybe doing some stenciling, maybe cutting up some of your dies to make a border like we've done here. You just get to do the playing bit and putting it all together. And sometimes I think if you take on too much of a project, you can get a bit overwhelmed. So I like to take, for example, my colour palette from my papers. Even if I don't end up using my papers, I can still use it as inspiration for my colour palette. So I'll use this to select my my pens. So I've got all of my pens that kind of work with this colour palette together. Then I'll colour my images, put them to one side, and then the next time I come to craft to actually create a card, I've got all of those elements there ready, and then all I need to do is come up with what my scene's going to look like. So yeah, so I think we're done. I mean, that has come out so well. I love the scene. I love that background stencil with the ground, and then that border in the pretty green with those little daisies on works so well. It's just such a fresh spring-like card, and like I say, using the different colour for your heat embossing again, I think that really works. Really happy with how that's turned out. Oh, and I got to use my little moles. I hope that you enjoyed that, guys. I hope that you've had fun. I'm so glad that I did this. Like I say, I still wasn't feeling 100%, but the fact that I've been able to have a chat with you, create something cute, I do think that, like I say, that idea of having your images pre-done is going to be so helpful to you if you're wanting to just have an hour or so of crafting and make something really cute, because that's not taking us It's not even taken us an hour to do that, which I think again is pretty cool. And that's I think someone would absolutely love to get that as a birthday card. You could even add, you know, another little image on the inside. Oh, how cute would he be on the inside? And then you could have an extra sentiment on the inside of what could we have? The mole, the merrier on the inside. Cute. I think that would be really adorable. That would be very adorable. I might even just do that because that looks really cute, doesn't it? It almost has like a little storybook kind of effect when you open it. Love that. So yeah, there you go. I might save him for another card though because he's very cute. So, but yeah, I love that idea. So there you go, guys. That is our card for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Do please join me next. Oh, that's the wrong way. I wanted to come in. There we go. Join me next week for a live reveal of our new release. It's just going to be stamps and coordinating dice, so lots of cute characters for you to play with and make cards like this with. It's what we're known for. It's our signature, or the stamps that I create. So I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. I will obviously we will catch up during the week with inspiration from the design team and from myself. But in the meantime, have a fabulous rest of your weekend, and I will see you all again really soon. See you soon, guys. Bye. Bye.